Welcome to the first Coach Zoom call of the 2026-2027 FLL BioGlow season. With us today, we have Brian Farrell, Head Judge Advisor. Also on my right, we have Allison Conrad, Wisconsin Head Referee, and I am Jay Church, the other Wisconsin Head Referee. Welcome, everybody. We're glad that you made it today. We have Craig is not with us today. He's out doing some BioGlow exploration that he has promised to share some slides with us next week on his adventures. So he has left a list of things for us to go through. So with that, we will let Allison take over the spot of Craig today.
Hello, I am not Craig. I am Allison, but I am Craig today. We hope you all are all excited for the BioGlow season as part of First Canopy. We're excited to start off our coaches' calls for the year with all of you here. So I'm going to go through all of Craig's notes on general BadgerBots related season stuff first, and then we can go into more BioGlow season specific items after we go through that. So first and foremost, as most of you are probably aware, there are two different versions of the first LEGO League program this year. There is Founders Edition, which is similar to how we've run previous seasons, and then there is Future Edition, which is the one that is using the new CSAI kits. We are only supporting the Founders events here in Wisconsin, so we are not at this time planning on running any future events, so just be aware that we are basically running the season like the previous seasons in Wisconsin, so something to bear in mind. This was done for a number of reasons, for cost benefit to the teams, for effectively running future for one season, and the benefit to students. So if you have any other questions about that, you're more than welcome to direct them towards Craig and the BadgerBots team. However, with that, so as LEGO Education is moving on from the Spike Prime robots as part of Founders Edition, you cannot currently buy Spike Prime robot kits from LEGO itself. Now, BadgerBots does have a number of kits available, so if you are a new team or a rookie team looking to get your robot kit for a Founders Edition tournament, you can contact BadgerBots. They have a supply of those available if you are in need. One final note, I believe, on Future and Founders. So if you know of any other new or potential coaches to the program, please make sure that they are aware of the fact that we are only running Founders Edition events. When you register with First, which is a system that I'm sure we are all enjoying thoroughly right now, the First registration system asks coaches to choose a program, but the new coaches may not know that we are not running a future event. So they could be registering for a tournament where there are no tournaments locally. We're doing our best to try and keep on top of that and spread the word and make sure folks are aware. But the more help we can get on that, the better informed all of these coaches will be coming into what I'm looking forward to being a really exciting season of LEGO League here in Wisconsin. So with all that out of the way, some nitty-gritty details on the Wisconsin first LEGO League BioGlow Founders Edition season. So registration fees are changing this year for events. So regional participation fee will be $170, which is a little bit cheaper than last year. However, the additional fee, if your team moves on to the sectional rounds from a regional, will be $100, which is up from $75 of last season. I know Craig was doing some adjustment math on just like the expenses of running those events, so those are generally where those numbers are coming from. The schedule for all of our events will likely be coming out next week in the newsletter, so that's very exciting stuff. We have most of them locked in already, but just trying to make sure that they're all straightened out. There will be a 2-week window for teams to rank their top 3 preferences for what regional they would like. That window is generally going to be somewhere between October 1st through the 15th, we're figuring right now. So in those 2 weeks, you'll be able to put in your top 3 preferences for which regionals you would like to attend. No guarantee you're going to get your first one. It's basically just making sure we have enough teams for all of our tournaments and that one of them isn't, overflowing and doesn't have space. You will receive your assignment email for which event you are going to get into pretty soon after the window closes. If your team misses the registration window for those regionals, you can still participate. That's totally fine. It will just be a little bit more limited in choices due to capacity constraints that are already filled up. One final note, if any teams have capacity or willingness to add additional students, there is a free agent webpage, I'm assuming on the BadgerBots website now, which is linked in the newsletter to see if there is a possible match. We have a number of students that are looking for teams, so if you have opportunities for them to participate in the First Lego League program, please take a look at that webpage to see if you can offer them a space on your team. I understand that was a lot of information. Are there any questions before we move on?
Right. Thank you, Craig/Allison. Very good. I guess I should have said, then I did not. As you guys came into the Zoom, you probably heard that this is being recorded. This will be posted up to our YouTube page, if not tomorrow, probably Wednesday. I just gotta get it together and get it posted for you. The link that this will be posted at will be, you can follow it out of the newsletter. I think Craig put a link to previous recordings there. So you can find that there. I'll also put it on the Slack channel. That being said, does anyone have... Right, Craig. Okay, got it. Sorry, I was just reading. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for this before we move on to fielding questions on judging or referee? We have just a few things to go over with the referee questions for the week, but not a ton. So if anybody has any questions that you'd like to ask Brian, feel free to ask or put in chat. Thank you, covered it. Thank you, Michael. Honorary Craig did a great job. Okay. Brian, are there things that you would like to share with them?
Typically at the beginning of the season, I like to share the website and how to navigate a little bit because not always intuitive going through the first website. So with that, let me share the screen. If everybody else has any things they want to chime in about with it, that's great. But okay, so you should be seeing the website, firstinspires.org. We're going to go to programs, First Lego League game season.
I do not see
Are
your
you sharing?
share.
Oh, hold on.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, now. Okay, let me move the people off the screen. And then, so first inspires.org websites, go to programs. First Lego League is the one we're dealing with, game and season. And then we want to make sure to go to BioGlow season materials. This is where you find out about the game and things like that. This is where you have to be careful. We're doing the Founders Edition, and primarily we talk about challenge on this call, but if there's Explore questions, there's Explore. I'm going to just cover, get this out of the way, the challenge program. So I'll click on challenge, and then here's where a lot of information is. We want to make sure people are aware of the guidebook and challenge updates. So you have your team meeting guide, your engineering notebook, your robot game rulebook, and the referees usually go through that pretty thoroughly with on the calls. And then there's also the challenge updates. I believe that said there was none, but you want to keep an eye out there for challenge updates. And then the building instructions for building your models. One of the fun things to do. And then there's some videos, other support resources. And then in judging, the rubrics, these are the same rubrics we use during a tournament for judging. So have your teams get used to them, comfortable with them, because that's the grade, this kind of the scale at which we do the judging. So just want to make sure people are aware of those. And then the session flowchart is really how a session goes for a judging session at the tournament, and we'll go into more of these details later. the different awards that are available. And then we typically do a coach mentor nomination at the tournament. So the form for that, and that'll usually come out as well from your tournament organizer. And then, which is the score calculator you guys would recommend? Do you have one at this point? Or scoring sheet?
We haven't even gone. We're not that far in yet. I mean,
Perfect. That's fine.
Yeah.
They'll let you know later.
Yeah.
I don't think they uploaded one this year. They usually have like the Excel one that they upload, but I don't remember seeing
there's
it.
Excel one here.
Is it in like there it is.
There's Excel.
Okay. So at least there are those available. There are going to be other ones on the internet, but tread lightly. Some of them may not be calculating exactly correctly because they were made by someone on the internet. So just keep that in mind.
Yep. So, and typically we use a separate program during the tournament for calculating scores, and that's reviewed by the refs before we go down that path. So high level, just want to make sure people are aware of this site and basic navigation for it, because there's a lot of good information here. I know there's other useful resources on the BadgerBots websites. Just brought it up ahead of time. Go to robotics, and First Lego League, and you can get down into resources and help. There's other things as well that you can use. So these are some of the ones that we got actually from a lot of the coaches on these calls as to some good solid resources to use. So kind of making these things, make sure people are aware of them. That's really all I wanted to cover for tonight. And I can stop sharing unless there's something I'll stop sharing. If we need something else shared, I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. Very good. I will go through gotta make sure I was unmuted. I'll go through the referee stuff that we have right now. I will let you guys know, as many of you guys, we do not have our mats yet. So Allison has had the privilege of seeing the field at one of the conventions she was at. I have not seen the field live. So we can, I'm probably not going to walk through all the missions until I get a chance to see how they operate and stuff like that. If you guys have specific questions that we might be able to find for you looking at the rule book or the setup guides, I'm more than happy to go down that route with you. Allison may have had a little bit of hands-on where she can help you if she remembers what she saw at that point. But we do have a couple things that we want to share with you. First of all, one of the big things that I think is a big thing, there's a rule interpretation that was changed this season. I'm not exactly sure why, but first on our head referee training has told us that holding a jig this year is no longer acceptable to launch your robot. And I actually quoted, I took down the quote exactly. So they said to us, if a team has to hold the jig in order to keep it from moving when they launch, they can't be doing that. The jig can stay in place, that's fine, but the team cannot be holding the jig in place to keep it from moving. I think that's the critical thing. So for those of you that use jigs, and I understand there may be some coaches on this call that don't understand what I'm talking about if you're brand new, we're happy to explain to you what jigs are if you need that information as well. Way back a few years ago, we used to not be able to hold the jigs, and they said you can, and now they're saying you cannot hold the jigs down. So while you may use a jig, and yes, the jig may extend into the home area, as it has for the last few years, that's not a problem. But you will not be able to physically hold the jig down while you're launching your robot now. That will not be a valid launch. So that I thought was pretty important for teams that use jigs. We're going to continue to kind of go over that one every week because I think it's going to be a big thing as more teams get their kits, start joining the calls, stuff like that. We have a couple questions from Slack, and I will go through those. Oh, for those of you that don't know, again, I keep forgetting that some of you guys might not know what we're talking about here. There's a Slack channel that is pretty active. Most everybody here in this room is actually on it. Tons of good experience. There's a coach to coach channel. There's a general channel. There's a place where you can ask official referee questions. as well as official judge questions there. So if you don't have an invitation for that, I believe Craig put a link in there in the newsletter. Please join us there. We will do our very best to answer your questions as quickly as we can. We're usually pretty on the ball with it. We do have jobs, but it's pretty active there. Sorry, I'm reading a question here.
With that, you can also put it in the chat if you need to be added. We can add you.
Correct. My team has a detailed question about mission 4, Lucky Leaves. What does partially removed for the katydid leaf mean? Specifically, can the leaf containing the leaf move? And if so, how much can it move? I think that's a great question.
I can talk about that a little bit if you'd like.
Yeah, if you want to do that, and actually that will blend right into the Slack question.
So for a little bit of behind the scenes context, Lucky Leaves at the partner conference was the mission that had the most questions from the assembled state head referees. So this one it's first trying something new. They're trying to have a luck-based element in Lego League. So it is going to be, I'm expecting us to have a lot of questions on this mission throughout the season, and that's going to be interesting for us to sort through. So for a little bit of a reminder disclaimer, Jay and I do not have our mats of the official builds yet. Our answers are not written down at this point, so they could change from now. But generally speaking, the katydids sit, like the leaves themselves, sit inside of a base. So there is a base that holds those leaves in place. I believe your question has to do with if you could potentially like peek underneath to see which leaf has the katydid, for example, and not fully remove it so that you don't lose out on the bonus. Per my interpretation of the initial rules and based off what they were saying at partner conference, if the leaf does not fully leave its base, I do not consider that at this time completely removed. So we will have to go back through that and make sure it is documented on our end what we are going to be telling our referees to rule on that this year. But given that it says completely removed, yeah, outside of its leaf habitat at the end of the match, even partially, yeah. So tread lightly if you're trying to see where the katydid is what I will say. They are intending for this to be luck.
Well, I have a little bit more to go on with that. I actually did talk to Karen the other day about this, and the outward look is luck. This actually can be solved. I've actually seen a team in Wisconsin solve this already. So do remember to read the blue. Can you scroll up just a touch for me on your screen?
There.
Yeah, do remember to read the blue, okay? It says the nest is the mission model that holds the leaves and the katydid. So it says no longer touching the nest with the katydid in its original position. Remember that you can put it back in its original position. And also remember that you can go up or down, and it still is considered in the scoring area, right? So I'm not giving away any strategies here, but for instance, if you were able to lift each one of these up and put it right back down where it were, you would know which one is there and what to select and whatever. Okay. So this comes down to a matter of the way it was explained to me is, yes, they want it to be kind of a luck type of mission. It can be solved without luck. But it's just a matter of like expenses, right? So how much is this worth to you? Do you want to spend the time to do all this? It can be solved. I've seen it solved. A team right now is working on it. They have 80%. So not fun. They have a lot of resources and time into it, but it can be done. Now, I was told the other day, is there going to be, I asked, do you think there's going to be a rule change on this? No, the person I'm talking about is a Wisconsin, or is a first world head referee. She told me that she does not anticipate that there's going to be a rule change. And if there is a clarification on it, the clarification is going to be kind of what we're seeing here. The clarification is, they're not going to tell you where you're looking at or where to look. So the question on Slack is basically, do we get to see where this is set up, right? are the referees going to show us where the katydid is before we run our mission? The answer is no. The intent, as of right now, is it will be random before you get to the board. We'll make sure that the referees do remember to keep switching it up. So if you're on the same board during tournaments, it's not going to be, okay, Jay always sets it here, because we will intentionally try to randomize that. So that is what I have with that. That is what the intent is. Good luck with it. Is it going to be worth doing or not? Maybe. We'll see. There was another question with another mission. Keystone. Oh, this is a good one too. The keystone species. The question was, does it have to be made out of bag 20, or can it be made with other items? And as Allison pointed out, now, Allison, we haven't talked about this, but I'm sure we're on the same agreement here. It says that you can use bag 20. It does not say you have to. I think we both agree that that just means exactly what it says. You can use it. You do not have to. So the way I read the rule, and Allison's shaking her head, so I think she agrees, you do not have to use bag 20 to make these elements. Okay. So I guess, first of all, Tim, did that answer your question for what you were asking on Lucky Leaves? If it did not, you may need to come on to voice real quick.
Yeah, I think that's what I was wondering about. I'm more specifically wondering about like fore and aft movement and like some more specific things, but I think what we're thinking is okay.
Yeah, be very careful about, I guess, lateral movement, right? So if it leaves the nesting area at all, your points are negated. So I guess that would be my tip for you, is if you're thinking about peaking or, lifting up, putting it back, just think more up, down, as opposed to left, right.
You're kind of talking about this here, Jay? If the cage is completely removed from the nest at any time?
Correct. So, and I guess my point is, what I'm saying is, if you're going up, like up, that's still in the scoring area, is what we would call it, right? So you can go up as far as you want and come back down. I don't see anything preventing that. Again, we're very, very early in the season. Don't shoot us if this changes. But the way I read it, and again, Allison's not disagreeing with me, so it's probably going to be straight up to look, you're fine, as long as it sits back down where it goes. I don't see anything preventing you from peaking either. Like just picking up.
It's the katydid that's referenced.
Yeah, so for those that may not understand yet or might not have your kit, so there's these 3 leaves. Can you scroll down a little bit, whoever's screen sharing?
Yep.
So those are not the katydids. What you're looking at there with the loop is actually a leaf, right? I thought that was the katydid at first myself as well. So underneath these, underneath one of these at random is a little black katydid, and that's what you're looking for. The leaf itself, these are what you're scoring with, right? So the object is to the end result here is you want to end up removing 2 of these with leaving the katydid one on its original position. So the katydid is underneath this. I don't know if there's a picture. I know it's in the setup guide. They actually flip it up. You can see it underneath. It's the black piece, the Lego piece that's attached to it. Kind of like I don't like to reference previous years because people may not remember that, or may not have been here, but kind of like the ore was in the boulder last year. It's inside. I mean, you could see it if you pick this up. So any more questions on, I know that one, like I said, I don't know how much that's going to change. I know some coaches are quite adamant about it. Okay. Okay, Michael, we have a question. I have a question on the route submission 12. Has a route, but not labeled as a route in the manual, but shows up in mission 14.
Up. It's
As a
12,
route, but not
13.
labeled as a route in the manual.
It's the one hanging off the side, yeah?
This thing here? That you're talking about, Allison?
I'm trying to confirm.
It's the one shown on Mission 14 inside of the replantation station.
Yeah, so I went down to 14 because he was talking about 14.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
This thing here, is that what you're pointing out, Michael?
Yes. And in Mission 12, it does not dictate that that's a route, as all other routes are dictated, or I'm sorry, seeds. My
Mhm.
bad. Seed. I'm as green as you guys. I'm trying.
Yeah, so I'm going to be completely
Roots
honest
are
with
the
you.
other thing, right?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm lost here because I don't know the board. So
The seeds are all scattered on different missions. So
got you.
I'm going to remember two. There's one in mission 11. There is one on the tree, which is technically part of mission 9. Help me out here. I'm trying to
Mission 8, I think. Oh, no. Well, Mission 8 or Mission 9. You're right.
Mission
I'm
9.
sorry.
There's one on exploding seeds. I know that one. The one that
Yeah.
pops off. That's 3. I'm missing one of them, I think.
So
Yeah,
on
just
mission
the thing on
12
12 that's off the side that you can pull off. It's definitely 12.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's
That thing on the
12.
bottom right that isn't identified.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
My kids were wondering if that was a seed or not. I said it was, but I want to confirm.
So can you just tell where does it say it is a seed? And like I said, I'm not questioning you. I'm trying to educate myself. Where you seeing that does say it's a seed?
So in every mission that has a seed, it lists seed, except for mission 12. The seed is sitting there, but then in mission 14, it's also sitting in the replantation station.
I understand.
Yep.
But it's not listed as a seed.
I got you. So this is what
So
the
I'm very
seeds look
confused.
like across the board. And okay,
Yes,
I think that's
correct.
a fair question. So
Good
is this
question.
Call it out
Mary.
or in 11 either. They call it out in 2
Oh,
out
they
of the
don't?
4 of them. No.
Oh,
Just to
you're
make
right.
this
They don't.
extra super fun. My gut check right now, because I've played with this, is I'm pretty sure there's the 4 of them that are shown in that photo. There's the one in the basket for 14 and then the 3 on the side. I believe there are 4 total seeds that you can use. We will have to verify when we actually can touch it again, but I think that's correct.
Yep.
There's definitely 4 we've already tabulated.
Thank you.
Jen,
Thanks,
so
Jen.
are you saying you tabulated via the score sheet?
We've made our own and we've tabulated by the electronic score sheet
Perfect.
online.
Okay, very good. Thank you. That helps.
Thank you.
All right, another
Ooh,
question.
I like this question, Jay.
One more question from the team, and this one I think the answer is yes, but they wanted me to ask. Okay. Can we put mission 10 creatures back up? Was that the actual question?
Yes. So, as with most things in First Lego League, our scoring occurs at the end of the match. That means that you can score and unscore things. That also means, in this case, you can unscore and then score things. So, with this mission in particular, and we've had similar ones like this in previous seasons, if the team does nothing and doesn't touch them at all, doesn't breathe on them too hard, the team will receive points for those missions as long as they are standing at the end of the match, where if they have a model or a mission, pull them back up because they know they're going to knock it down, or it stays the way it was at the start of the match. As long as it's up, that's fine by us.
100% agree. One caveat. This is a no-touch constraint. So for teams that do not know yet, and for veteran teams that may not have seen yet, if you look at your top right corner of the screen share there's a little crosshatch there with a logo, with a Lego. So what that means for you guys is at the end of the match, you can't have any team equipment touching these models. If you have team equipment touching, it negates your points. Okay? And I'm not trying to talk to you guys like you don't know what you're doing. I just don't know how many teams here are brand new, or I don't know who may be watching this at a later time that doesn't know this information yet. So, yeah. Good question. I like that one. And good point for the tabulating at the end of the match. That's always good to remind people. And I guess so where that doesn't count is the Katie dead, right? So just so you guys know, the Katie dead is it's a visible element. It says it can't leave the nest at any time, so you can't take that out and then put that back. Okay.
We love lucky leaves. As a general note that I don't think we've talked about yet, this came up a lot last year. As folks who have received their boards have probably noticed, this mat is fragile. These missions are fragile. There's a lot of leaves that are not very well secured. Bear in mind that the way that the little leaves are put on the model at your home may not be the same as how they are arranged at a tournament. There is a note about this in the rule book, and in the mission video, I believe this year, I think they added that too, that there can be some variance in decorative elements. So be aware of that when you're designing your missions.
If you got, I'm sorry, Sue, did you? Okay, I saw Sue light up. So if you guys have something that you need an element to score, right? So what we interpret as decorative may not be what you interpret as decorative. If your robot keys off of a leaf or something, which I don't suggest, because they are very fragile, please let us know and we will try to make sure that's set. But I think we're going to have our hands full with reset up on tables this year. So if you can try to not use fragile elements as your key lifting points, that would be very, very handy, because as Allison said, there is no promise that it's even going to be there by the end of the tournaments. I mean, if it's a little flower or something, it very well might not even be on the mission model. And if your kids get too picky, we do have kids that like to, make sure everything is exactly in place, exactly how it is in the book. Please remind them of that as well, too, that the decorative elements are not a requirement to be there, even though we will definitely try.
We will try, but
yes, Michael, your kids. No, I'm just kidding. But we will do our best, guys. We do a pretty good job of trying to get everything set. And if we're going to make mistakes, and if you see something, the kids see something that they think should be set a different way, please, they're more than welcome to ask us to look, and we certainly will. And we're not offended by it, because at the end of the day, we know the rules, but they have reset these missions 1,000 times more than we have. So, I mean, it's not uncommon for me to tell a kid, "Hey, how does this go?"
I would far prefer that we delay a match a couple of minutes
Sure.
to make sure that it's right than have to rerun something because it was wrong.
Absolutely. You're good, Michael. All right. Anybody else with questions? Okay. If you do decide you have questions after this is over, please feel free to just reply back to that newsletter address that goes to Craig. Craig will forward to whomever he thinks it needs to go to. If you're on the Slack channel, please feel free to post there as well. If you need to talk to us about something that's a strategy situation, and you don't want to share that, please just send us a DM or something and let us know, hey, I need an answer here, but please don't share it because it's strategy. We're happy to do that. We're pretty careful about not sharing your strategy. You can ask one after. Yes, Michael, you can. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Can I stay on for a director related question? Yes, if we can help you, Jenny. All right. With that, we're excited for the season. Thank you all for showing up. And
I hope you've all found the chicken this year.
Yeah, chicken's back.
It's back.
Chicken is back.
We will see you guys next week.